So this is the last episode you will watch of the Serious Angler podcast for 2024, boys. Well, folks, welcome back to another Serious Angler podcast. And for anybody new tuning in the show, your main course is always everything bass fishing, but tonight is a little bit of a twist, being that the fact that we got the whole freaking squad here, the OG squad, I'll say, of the Serious Angler Podcast Network. We got Adam Deacon flying over from Idaho. I'm sure you guys have seen that previous episode with him and here down the studio. We got the Bassin Captain in studio here, Mr. Andy Full, rocked out in some lame Bills clothes.
But swag. Bills. I dig that hat, dude.
Swag. That is a dope hat. But you guys know on this show, especially if you tune in, we have about 10 to 10,000 distractions, and today's all going to be about distractions. We're going to be some fishing talk as always, but we got a lot of notes to get through with you guys because if you saw the title, big things happening in 2025 that we're excited to share with you guys. And just know there's what we'll detail here. There's way more coming beyond that than we're just listing off here. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are excited that we're actually talking about it now because I think I might have teased it for the past month and a half. They're like, finally, you're actually talking about what the changes are, not teasing it out. And so,
could you say huge?
It's freaking huge. It's huge.
That was wonderful.
Hugh Shane Gillis. Yeah.
Bring him in.
Bring him in, baby. That's right. Well, dudes, Andy, we talked about it with Deacon on the original episode. Well, not original. Sorry, the recent episode with Deacon of his first time in old Buffalo.
Snowy Buffalo, huh?
It's just, yeah, that's one thing that was the main takeaway was all that. Then you got to have the wings. We got to take him to Bar-Bill, and it's been a good experience thus far in Buffalo. That's about literally all you saw was all that's good in Buffalo.
Yeah, so I've been here one other time. You and I, we traveled up to go fishing open, but I've never spent the summertime, right? When you guys like actually enjoy being here and the lake and all this stuff, right?
It's always been the winter.
Still don't.
The winter is tough, brother. Like you guys are in it.
It's I don't know if I enjoy summer either, to be quite honest.
Well, because the issue with summer is it's so humid. It's not like Florida humid, right?
Okay,
but
we
it's
can't
like,
complain about the weather here.
But it's like when it gets to be like 85, it's
Toasty.
sweaty. It's sweaty.
It's sweaty 85.
Yeah, it's a sweaty.
After
85.
experiencing the past 4 years of ICAST in Orlando in July, I will never complain about the weather up here. I just more mean it's Buffalo, man. There's nothing to do in summer.
No, there's some stuff.
Lake Erie's the only thing to do.
There's great smallmouth fishing, right, on Lake Erie. You have the wineries and the Finger Lakes, and
Bougie.
a couple hiking trails,
nice coffee shops.
A couple hiking trails. Okay, yeah, but you're
trails,
dealing with
awesome
druggies and
shops.
homeless people on them in Buffalo.
Listen, you just
We're
have to
talking
go.
about the surrounding area. Upstate New York is
That's
beautiful.
not Buffalo.
Not Buffalo.
That's Western
Yeah, I'm
New
not
York.
talking about Buffalo, man. I'm talking about Western New York, Central
Western New York is gorgeous.
There's-
Buffalo sucks.
There's plenty of great things to do around here. There's some great restaurants downtown, but I wouldn't go hiking downtown. Like, no.
Unless you want a needle in you.
Yeah, that's right.
Or you just send Bailey pictures and videos of big bucks in a nature preserve right outside the city. Like,
Yeah,
you
that
can't
sucks.
hunt here.
That sucks.
Some of the biggest deer I have seen have always been in stuff like that. Suburb, like little preserve spot. And you're
Mhm.
like, that is a mega.
Biggest elk I've ever seen was in Yellowstone in the park,
Mhm.
literally by the visitor center, like sitting in the lawn.
Just chilling.
It's like,
Yeah, man, some dude just pulls up, just drops an arrow, and it's just like, sorry about it.
I'm sure it's happened. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's been some wildlife case with that.
Yeah.
nuisance control.
Yeah, for humans and people.
Yes, both.
Yeah,
That's true.
well, dudes, let's start getting into it because 2025, big year for us. Super excited about it, and we're gonna get into, I guess, the high level of what's changing for next year and who we're working with and things like that. And so we're gonna run through that with you guys, and we'll get into the major podcast changes. But let's talk about a little bit the partners
Yeah.
for next year, and to kind of to rattle things off for you guys, especially if you're an OG of the Serious Angler podcast, you'll love this one because we love them. And Matt over at Amped Outdoors has been a friend of mine for a long time, and they're coming on strong for Serious Angler in 2025. So Amped Outdoors is back in Serious Angler, baby.
Awesome.
Let's go.
So you guys will look forward to that. We'll have ways for you guys to save on lithiums, and we'll call out. It was a great partnership with X2 Power. Unfortunately, things had to end the way they did, but happy to be back in the family feel of Amped Outdoors. What they've done over there, Matt and team, just incredible. I mean, people over here, especially in the Midwest, being the hub for them, but out here, I've seen people using Amped Outdoors, but the product reliability as well as the customer service. I mean, Matt is a freaking nerd. when it comes to this stuff. Great shipping. Excited to be back in that brand, and I know we are all excited to be running them. I'm excited to be running them once again because my buddies still have my hand-me-downs of the old years of the amp, and they're still rocking strong with them. So I'm happy to get back to what they got going over there.
I'm extremely curious to see the performance difference in my boat by going to lithiums and lightening up the back end of my boat.
Yeah, you haven't had
all
lithiums.
I had all AGMs. Yeah, so that's kind of exciting. I want to see the clarity difference in my graphs and how much better that is.
Mm-hmm.
Probably give my clients a great experience, and I can be like, oh, that's actually a small mouth. Besides me knowing what it looks like
100%.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so pretty excited about that.
Heck yeah.
I'm fired up for it. I mean, like, to me, the lithium space, right? Like, I'm someone who always is looking for super high quality gear, and I'd rather have less stuff and spend more and have something that is super reliable and quality. And to me, lithium is the way. I think we've seen that trend, but even more so when you're wanting to have long days, lighten the boat up on the back end, whether it be with your trolling motor batteries, but more so now, like you're saying, to me, the biggest thing is having a dedicated battery for my electronics, right? Like, I just want to have more redundancy and have the ability to have like, hey, this is just for my electronics. Then I have the boat battery. That's great. Trolling motor batteries, but that electronics only battery in a lithium form to me is going to give you reliable, consistent power on the thing that matters the most, in my opinion, right now in fishing.
Yeah, I'm hyped about that, and we'll not go too salesy on each of these with you guys. We're just excited to showcase the partners, and you're going to see the content coming out for next year, and like especially with amp, the crazy how intuitive that app that comes with it, with these batteries being Bluetooth, and I'm personally excited as going into the plans for next year and being a full-time content creator. The power stations, dude, because I do a lot of truck camping. I'm excited to go up in the Adirondacks, these mountains, these trips where I sleep in my truck. The power station to be able to be completely off the grid and have the things I need to do for charge cameras, things like that. So you guys see all that content coming towards you guys, but also another year working with Rec Lending,
dude,
which is a huge, especially for our boat and RV owners. Let's get into it, Deacon. Let's hear it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Rec Lending to me, I mean, if you've listened to any of the Business from the Best Boat shows with Todd, Todd is just the most salt of the earth dude when it comes to just trying to give everyone the best situation for purchasing a boat. He's just very much like, hey, look, if it's not us, it's not us, but we can support you and help you, whether that be through insurance or through the lending space. Just great people over there, and super excited to work with them again. It'll be a fun 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, just switching my boat insurance over to Rec Lending saved me almost $1,000 last year, which is incredible. And I have
$1,000 to spend more at Omnia now.
Ain't that the truth? But I mean, like, better coverage. I had more coverage against like along everything, and that's important. Being a guide, you need
be protected.
You need some protection,
especially a guy at the freaking Great Lakes, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. $1,000 savings is huge. So I mean, it's not a sales pitch, right? It's real life. That's big. In the state of the economy we're in, to have your premium price go down $1,000, that's huge for a lot of everyday people.
As insurance costs are rising, right? Like, they're rising in everything,
100%.
Homes, cars, everything. Yeah,
that's huge. Looking forward to that. More content, of course, coming with Todd this coming year. And then one we're working, obviously, big one across not just Serious Angler, Lure Lab, stepping up big time to not only just for us, but also for everybody that tunes into these shows. And that is Omnia Fishing, one of our favorite people to work with. They are so, especially when we talk about trying to be industry leading in regards to the way of they think, but also providing back to you, the customer, and making it worth their while, basically giving you guys free baits for at low cost. It's ridiculous stuff they're doing, and they got really cool plans for 2025 coming on much stronger for Lure Lab, which we'll get into later in the show. But excited for another year with the Omnia crew and some of the ideas that they have. They're a very creatively, progressively thinking brand that I feel like directly aligns with how we want to approach stuff. So it's gonna be another good year with the Omnia crew, and hopefully we can go and actually like do shows in the Omnia HQ and stuff.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Midwest, baby. Yeah, no, I think they're just very industry leading. They're always pushing the kind of the envelope on what tackle everything looks like technology wise.
Yeah,
so
very challenging what's been traditional, especially as an online retailer. Traditionally, as an online retailer, they've been pushing the envelope of what they can provide with Omnia, the app, the mapping they have, things like that. They're kind of pushing the envelope of not being really just an online retailer anymore. They're kind of being like a full one-stop shop for anglers.
And they listen to the consumer as well, right? Like if they get a bunch of people emailing in, you need to carry this brand. Usually you see them bring that brand in. So, which is super beneficial to the consumer base that follows them. So
it's a great time to call out. This is the last show for 2024. And you have until midnight of, say, 11:59 p.m. of December 31st to use code Series Pro, which basically gives you free pro membership for the year, which for people that haven't used it yet, it's you put code Series Pro when you go to buy Omnia Pro, and it makes it from a $50 membership to $45, but then also throws $50 into your account to go use on Tackle. Kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. That is $5 to Tackle to you at the end of the day.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
$5
waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for you. And you're a pro member that gives you faster shipping, everything else.
And a little secret that Andy and I put out the other day, the pro pricing page is a little sneak that they don't actually advertise, but is like 60% off of Daiwa to Tuileries, like crazy prices on some of this stuff. I seen by your eyes. Maybe you didn't even know about this page.
Didn't know about this page.
They
got me.
Rods on
I'm
there,
about to spend a lot of money.
Like,
if you're not a pro member, don't listen. Stop listening to that.
If you're an ice fisherman, there was a bundle on there that was like $1,800 off, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Pretty nuts. But as we keep moving on, there's one that we've been working with this past year that I know you just got set up on your truck. You've been running with it for a little bit. And this is for anybody that's towing anything or has a lot of stuff, even in the back of their truck, let alone. And that is Road Active suspension. And talk to us about that, Deegan, because you've had some experience so far.
Yeah, no. I mean, so where this all came about for me was literally got a new truck, and I love the truck. It's a GMC 1500, but with a half ton like that and having a decked system in the back with a bunch of tools, a topper as well, that bed is just heavy. And I already have a little bit of sag without putting the boat on the back. And then when I put the boat on the back and I'm going to go drive to Arizona from Idaho, it's like, man, this is a lot of wear and tear and just a little bit unstable driving. And so I'm a very analytical person, looked at I looked at different shock systems. I looked at airbags. And for me, the conclusion I came to, and quite frankly, had the highest reviews, was Road Active suspension. And with that, it basically is a lift spring helper that gives you extra stability when you want it, meaning when you're towing and when it's under load. But on the backside of things, you don't lose the ride of a half-ton truck, right? So when you are, generally speaking, if you had airbags to a half-ton, first of all, there's maintenance. You have to do all these different things. The Road Active suspension, it's like you set it and forget it. It's ready to go for the entire season. And so I've towed now a couple of trips, winter trips, with the boat on the back, with everything on the back, and I've just noticed an increased stability, right? Highway speeds doing 80, 85. I shouldn't say all that. Pulling a boat, but when
insert clip of Deacon getting pulled over on Fantasy Fishing.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Yeah,
if
nailed it.
Speed limit, you're good, right?
Right. Idaho's got a lot of 80-mile-an-hour speed limits, which is wild. But you're just more stable coming around turns, going up corners, all that stuff. So it's made me a lot more stable, and I love it because a truck's supposed to ride like that. And when you sag everything down, you just lose all of that, and your headlights look up. So anyways, big help there.
Yeah, I'm pumped because, as a guide, my boat is literally hooked up 200 days a year. So it's going to take a lot of pressure off my leaf springs just sitting in the driveway, right? Like
100%.
It's going to reduce one more thing that I have to worry about on a daily basis when it comes to maintenance with the F-150. So excited to just have a little bit more peace of mind on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. I keep adding all these electronics to my kayak. I might need to have this in the rent.
If you get a trailer, keep adding on, adding on.
That's right.
Could you imagine an RAS system in the old Nissan?
Honestly, I think I needed it. I think I needed it in that thing. That little Altima was a little beast, man.
I don't doubt.
I think off-roading in Texas. I definitely should have done that. After I got smashed in Missouri on my way down to fish that championship. You remember that, right? You could stick your hand through the trunk of my car because it was so.
I do remember this.
Yeah. So the funniest part about that, we'll segue for people.
We're going off-roading and getting stuck on stumps.
Yeah, we're going off-roading with our topics here, but yeah, it's we're gonna get to all of our plans for 25. I promise. So story time. So when I was getting off the exit to basically my halfway point for driving down to Texas. It was the first ever Bassmaster Kayak Series event, first ever Bassmaster Kayak Series championship down at Possum Kingdom. That's what that flag is behind you. I was getting off at Missouri. And I was like, oh, here's the big Bass Pro Shops, like where they have everything in Missouri. And I was like, I got to go see that. I'll stay at a hotel right here. I'm getting off the exit to literally, I can see the Bass Pro Shops. And I'm literally about to go turn right. It's a red. I'm turn right and I get smashed in. And it was enough where I was fine. But that thing was a tank, the little Ultima, dude. But the trunk was damaged bad. Like you could stick your hand. I had to move all my gear to the right side because you could stick your hand in and steal all my plastics and stuff that were in my trunk. But I still went to the Bass Pro Shop, spent some money out of anger, which I don't know how that works, but I spent a lot of money on tackle and stuff. And
did you feel better?
I felt great afterwards. Yeah.
There you go.
Got that. Got some Chipotle. I hit the hotel.
Retail therapy.
Yeah,
baby.
but then I went down to Possum Kingdom and basically took that car like off-roading to ramps and such. Took it all the way 21 hours back home. Okay, here's actually the funniest part. So I went to work the Classic afterwards, and with work, we were staying with Pure Fishing and all that stuff. We were staying at one of the nicer hotels, and I had to valet my car with a smashed trunk and a kayak on top with like 40 rods in the passenger seat. I'm like, my boss is laughing hysterically watching me valet the car because there's no parking lot or whatever it is. That was the funniest thing ever. And then drive it back, took it down to like Toledo Bend stuff, off-roaded it to ramps and like had my fender like half smashed off and stuff. And then finally was like, yeah, we need to, after the fall event, thankfully won that, got rid of it. But it was, that thing was a tank, dude. Like, I don't know how I got what I got for returning it because I think I damaged about every single part in that car at some point.
And he's been.
That was a Nissan commercial.
Stumps, like, yeah,
there was a time, yeah. So there was a stump. It was early morning at one of our ponds up here in Buffalo. I went to go fish it. Was not like thinking at all. I'm just whipping out of the parking lot to go on to the next pond, just completely right over and get like hung up on a stump, like on the undercarriage.
Center,
yeah, dude. Had to get our boy. Shout out to our boy Tyler Manthe. He came over and helped me get off. But dude, it was like, because I did this in Champlain too. I did the same freaking thing and had to get help off there too. But it was bad, dude.
It's a good thing you're in a truck now. It sounds.
But dude, never had to like. This is okay. This is a damn Nissan commercial. If you work for Nissan, call us. But yeah,
if they're around the next 2 years,
that was more of a joke. Actually, I don't really want a Nissan truck. They are doing stuff in the outdoor space, so shout out Nissan. Whatever. But that thing was a tank, dude. Like I got center pin twice on that thing, and you had to help me get off it. It was. I'll call it out. My driving. That's why I needed a truck now. That's why I needed a truck.
Dumb, and reckless.
Poor driver.
And now we're older, still dumb, and still reckless.
Yeah. Older, still dumb and reckless.
Yes.
Maybe dumber and more reckless. Nice.
A little more dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun. So as we keep going down the list here, one thing to call out is Hobie Hour back on again for 2025. You're going to see more of Hobie Hour next year, which is awesome. You guys have always known, if you follow along with the almost 4 years now working with them, that you guys can save 20% off. The link's always down there for you guys year long. So basically Black Friday savings just year round when you come to our podcast here. And then last but not least, one that's new for 2025. One that's pretty exciting from the boat and the kayak space. I've been using it for the past 3 years now. Sniper Marine. Big time. So when we talk about the new age, new tech, there's ways to harness it and be more efficient with all of it. Sniper Marine is the one that's leading the way for being able to do that, from graphing, using forward facing at the console to using on the kayak big time. So these are forward facing sonar mounts. And I know you guys haven't had the chance to use them yet, but it's been cool to see around from like Rob G, Jacob Fouts, all these guys that have been harnessing that at the console. I'm excited for you, especially where you guys are at, and as a guide too, from your perspective.
I just want to be able to drop it next to me as I'm idling around with my side scan and just look instead of having to have my trolling motor down.
Yeah. And the trolling motor mount, right? Like being here, I've been able to put hands on it so far as just the trolling motor mount in itself. Super fired up for that, to be able to be 0 degree turning and be super adjustable. I've always just used the Garmin mount. Yeah. And heavy duty plate, right? All the aspects that you're looking for in something that's going to be bulletproof for someone like yourself being on the Great Lakes, but also that ability to just twist everything and go into straight perspective mode. I'm someone who, at least right now anyway, I'm just going to run one forward facing unit on my boat. I'm not going to have both.
Control motor.
Right. Yeah. Not have one both, forward as well as perspective mode. But I like the ability to change that quickly and make it customizable.
Yeah.
So super fired up for that. And then I think we kind of joked about it, but I may be, for all the tournament fishing I'm doing in 2025, I may be most excited for a crappie tournament.
Yeah.
That's going to happen in April in Idaho.
That's where this will come in handy.
And that's exactly what I'm thinking is like, so this tournament, it's a $5,000 payout on a $100 entry fee. And you can have, I think, 3 or 4 people in the boat. And it's like, we've got people on pontoon boats, whatever, like doing this live bait, not live bait. But like, I'm thinking we get some sniper marine turrets out there and we get all the boys scoping. You know what I mean? Finding some big crappie. So I'm fired up.
Randy will love that one.
Trying to run a pontoon boat and just put a turret on each quarter.
What do they call those with the crappie, with the spider? What is it called?
Spider rigging, like where they have
they have like 10 rods.
Oh, I'll be competing against those guys for sure.
That's
but I'm
be
just
cool
going to be like,
see how that compares, dude. That's gonna be pretty. That's gonna be pretty sick.
Spreader rig, I think, is actually what it's called, right?
I think it's spider. No, I think it's spider.
Spreader. Yeah. I'm not too well versed in the crappie space.
You call yourself a guide.
Sorry, I don't fish for crappie.
Crappie.
Sakale. But yeah, super excited. Those are awesome folks. Tim, Trey, and Taylor Watkins, a good pal of the show as well over there. Excited to do more with them. Gonna be a fun 2025 with those boys. But then last thing I want to call out, we do have more to come and more to share with you guys as we move on throughout the year. But one thing we do want to call out, because they're amazing people. We're not officially working with them in 25, but the Blackfish Gear folks, just love those guys. It's been an amazing ride with them. Still looking forward to seeing them at events, staying in touch with them, and hoping for all of our ice fishing friends that it's a great ice fishing year, because it's needed for a lot of ice brands, needed big time. So hopefully, our fingers are crossed that it looks like, I've been seeing some videos for the past couple of weeks in Sobeys channel that things are already frozen over that way in the Midwest. So hopefully, fingers crossed are for a as much as I want open water up here in the North, I'm hoping for a good ice season for everybody.
It'll be good for the industry, period.
Yeah. But I mean, Blackfish makes incredible stuff. Again, like some of these changes you guys see, it's, again, at the end of the day, it's just business. We work with some great people, great products, and it's never a change from that. It's more of a change because business is business. So still rooting for those folks, and hopefully you guys will still support them. They make great products, but no, none of them for 2025. But yeah.
They've been a great partner for years, and I just, like you said, business is business. It's how things go sometimes.
Yeah. Still looking forward to having a beer with Matt and Addie and all them folks at ICAST and Classic and things like that. Some of my favorite people in the industry. But with that, I think the big change on our front internally for 2025.
Big indeed.
Big indeed. That needs to be a soundboard right there. Big indeed.
Yes.
It's very, very large.
Very huge.
Big.
Huge.
That's exactly what we need.
Do you want to kick us off here?
Yeah.
How do you want to start this?
I think there's 2 big things here, right? I mean, I think there's the show format, right? And then also yourself, right? Like, I think that should be part of something.
I guess we haven't really talked about that.
No. And I think that's as big, if not bigger, in my opinion, with things. But where do you want to start first?
I am officially pursuing my career as a NFL cheerleader for the Philadelphia Eagles.
We all knew it was coming.
There were signs.
There were signs. Yeah, there were signs.
Green,
when I get text messages during Eagles games, it's not text messages about the game. It's more like, I wish I was one of them. And we're like, oh yeah, like a player. And he's like, no, not the player.
I got my pom-poms in the living room.
I just want a pom-poms and a Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, belly shirt. Go Saquon.
No.
Saquon on the front, Jalen on the back.
Oh, man.
Saquon hurts.
Oh, that was
cheeks. It'll be like a heart.
That was gold.
It says Eagles.
My heart.
Jesus Christ, Andy.
Oh,
no. So to be real for folks, if you follow my personal YouTube, you've seen the video I posted, a big life change. And I guess officially for the Serious Angler folks is I had an amazing full-time job, but I had a once in a lifetime opportunity to officially chase this thing full-time from a content creator aspect. And also this year with the podcast, we have a great 2025 ahead, and I just want to put heart and soul into this thing. And so have an opportunity to chase that full time. So really excited / absolutely petrified out of my mind, but looking forward to getting after it get after it and see what the hell happens. So
philosophical Andy, with fear, great things come.
There we go. I mean,
we need to have a collage of just Andy's deepest thoughts.
Andyisms.
With fear. Yeah.
Have you guys ever watched Wild and Out with Nick Cannon?
Oh yeah.
You've seen that?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen the segment? So they do this thing where they have two people in a chair and they have like the water, and whoever spits, like it's like a point, like you make them laugh. So this dude comes up and he goes, "I am Nick Cannon thoughts." It's just me. This is Andy Foles thoughts.
Sorry, this is Andy Full, and we are talking Andy
philosophy,
Andyisms, Fullisms,
Fullisms.
Typically full of shit, but
either way,
I can take it.
There's a full something in there. Yeah,
full something. Yeah,
full of everything.
In all seriousness, though, man, I mean, I think
oh, it's awesome.
this is the time to do it, right? I mean, like if you're going to jump into something, I mean, it's in your 20s, right? You've got the opportunity financially to get things going here and hit the gas. And I mean, if you were to say, like, if there was a bet on if Bailey is going to make it, both with not only exponentially helping our podcast grow, but you personally with your own channel, like I'm taking that bet every time. So I think it's totally going to be 100% fine. And that fear's a good feeling. At the
Careful with that $100, boss.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just kidding.
Like, are we making that bet? Are you going to bet against me? Andy's betting against me.
No, I would never
make that bet.
I would never bet against Bailey.
I don't want it either. Like
that time I remembered I was trying to bet on you to go full-time guide, and here's the favorite return.
Yeah, this is true. We all need motivation sometimes, Andy.
Bailey's motivation is just fucking do it, man. Just do it.
Yeah, and you're in the background. You suck, you jackass.
Yeah.
So you're the one in my comments. Okay.
Yes, it's me. There's the Andyisms page.
Yeah, something like that.
No, I wouldn't bet against Bailey at all. He's gonna rock it. Pump for him.
We'll see how that goes. yeah, I'm just excited to get after it, man. It's gonna be a fun couple years. Wife and I are super excited about it just because it's been so run and gun timing wise, and again, this goes back to the audience at my own stuff, but also especially Serious Anglers since 5+ years ago. It's a lot of credit to you guys. So we'd be remiss to say this wasn't happening because of a lot of people that are tuning in to this exact episode and have tuned in over the past 5 years. Appreciate the hell out of you guys. And I know there's a couple people asking, how can I help you? People that I've, looked to for advice and things like that, additionally to you guys. And I'd say if anybody that's curious about that is support the people that support the show. That's how you can support all of us. It really is. Listen in. We appreciate any harsh feedback too, like positive or negative feedback you have of the show. And then, supporting the people that support Serious Angler helps us big time, and trying to take this thing to a whole different level to provide more feedback or provide more ROI for listening to the show, for taking the time out of your day to listen to us three jabronis talk about this stuff.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. The partners of this show are what make it run, right? So as much as we
you
can
guys,
support them,
the partners allows us three idiots to talk fishing more, and at least more fancy or effectively we have with this mock studio right now.
Mock studio, baby.
Yeah.
So all kinds of new technology. That's
Yeah.
a new thing here too,
Technology.
right? We're investing in a lot of technology in 2025, which is going to be super exciting.
We know that we're extremely ugly and we can't make it look better, but we can make it look higher quality.
We've been trying makeup tutorials on Andy, and so far it hasn't
No,
worked.
it's not working.
No.
It's
Camera's
not
broken.
Yeah.
The one's already cracked, man.
You notice why Andy's camera is the worst of all three. There's a
At least this is my semi-good side,
semi. Yeah,
Semi.
we'll let you think that, bud.
Thanks.
Well, joking aside, let's get into the big change for Serious Angler.
Yeah, Deacon, what's up?
Yeah. No, I think the best way to kind of think through this is like we've had a lot of discussions and planning sessions, right? Of like, what do we want this brand to look like? And not just the Serious Angler podcast, but the Serious Angler Network as a brand. And we've kind of built and curated this thing, and it's been an awesome journey for us. And I think sometimes you got to look at things and say, okay, what is working? What is not working? Where do we feel like things need to maybe shift or not shift? And we've got some, again, this is months of just thinking and going back and forth and brainstorming stuff. And it's like, hey, quite frankly, my passion, and still is to some degree, is the fishing space, the business space. And I'm just becoming a more well-rounded person in general and growing up a little bit. And it's like, hey, I think that this business from the Bass Boat as a show has been great and has a great cult following. But in reality, I find a lot of joy, not only in talking about fishing and all aspects related to that. But also, is it a better set as a segment rather than it's an entire show on the fishing industry and the business space there? And quite frankly, it's been cloudy, right? In the last couple of months, over the last kind of year, of like, hey, we go into these boat company stuff, but then it's also like, hey, we get a founder on, right? And there's just different things there where it's like, I don't know where the direction is with this. And by shortening and making it a more concrete section, the thought process with us is we're adding some new stuff to Serious Angler and new segments in general, not just Business from the Bass Boat, but that's going to be a part of that. It's like, hey, I think this brings us three together more focused on what is working, what is rolling, and
what the people want,
dialing in, right? We're paying attention to what people are interested in. And so, yeah, man, that's kind of my take on it. What
so I guess to put the official label on it,
yeah,
is Business from the Bass Boat will now be a segment on the Serious Angler show, and there will be no more of Business from the Bass Boat on podcast itself. So essentially what we're getting at here is Deacon is now a co-host officially of the Serious Angler podcast itself, not just one of the hosts of the network in the network.
There's three of us.
You're gonna have three of our ugly mugs
problem
on every single episode going forward from the foreseeable future. And you're still going to get the Business from the Bass Boat content, but we're going to list it out in quick, need to know factual format on these shows. So you're still going to get that industry insights, Deacon's perfect, business brain. We're still going to talk about these in these shows as we see fit for the information that you guys need to know about. But we're really just going to, I guess, work even more in collaboration on making these shows even better. And you're going to see that, and you're seeing it with the format. Especially if you're watching this right now, you're seeing some of the upgrades we're making. And with that too, Deacon's gonna be on every single show. Business from the Bass Boat will be, say, 5-10 minutes segments of these shows where people need to see some of the information, what's happening in the industry.
Yep.
And obviously there'll be some more content around that, especially from a social sense. But then too, you hit on it. There's some new segments coming, and so we'll lead in the first one that is with you, and that is for our West Coast folk.
Yeah.
Dive into that, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think this is part of, right, like we're thinking through of like your passions, what you're doing this for.
Yeah.
And for me, right, like the fishing side of things, especially at West, is a big passion of mine. And leaning into now living in Idaho, it's like there is so much untapped out West. And this has been a conversation we've had with a lot of industry folks as well, of like, man, there's great tournament coverage out East, and you see the guys that come from the West that end up fishing out East, but like there's a lot out West that is not really covered well. And so the thought process here is like, we've got a portion of our show, right? So this is going to be a bi-weekly portion of Serious Angler that is specifically curated to the West Coast. It's bodies of water. Like we're talking really unique things that are happening out West from a bodies of water standpoint, and the tournaments themselves and the pros, all the happenings there. And then also a coverage standpoint to the Western guys that are on tour on the, the big stage when it comes to
sailors,
right.
Yep.
Your Cody Myers, like,
especially call out the young guns out in the West Coast too, that their name deserves to be heard more. The people that are doing, maybe not even pros, but people out in the West on the fishing side that deserve a lot more credibility than they're getting
100%. Right. There's just a lack there, in our opinion, from a media national scale coverage. So that's what we're trying to bring to the West. I'm also fishing the BAM 60 next year, so it'll be super exciting to be tight knit with a lot of those guys as well. And that'll be
do we gotta refer to you as a pro angler now?
No, please don't. I mean, I'm gonna have a wrap boat and a jersey. Yeah. I'm gonna put decals on everything. Excited for it.
Every inch of the truck. Decal.
Yeah. You're not gonna wear your jersey in all the shows now, are you?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna wear it everywhere. Now I'm just gonna wear the jersey like I'm gonna have to buy like 5 jerseys. I'm just wear it daily wherever I'm going. Like walk into a Chipotle. Who's that guy? I'm a pro angler, actually. Thank you.
Should be getting this for free.
Don't talk to me. I'm a pro.
Don't talk to me. I'm a pro angler.
Yeah,
it's huge.
I'm a big deal. No, never been a pro angler. Still don't consider myself a pro angler to some degree, but I am excited to fish that tour.
Oh yeah, man. I'm pumped for you, dude. It's gonna be fun to keep along with, and potentially more plans for that, which we'll release at a later date. that could be exciting if it goes through. But either way, that's gonna be awesome. And then the other segment to Serious Angler, we'll do it. We'll come full circle with this and give you guys like an updated schedule of what to look forward to for next year. And that is, I know some of our favorite guests on Serious Anglers. One of we've had a lot of amazing people on, but one that's recurring that people always love that comes on that always drops a hell of a lot of knowledge on our show is Mr. Stephen Barton, our fisheries biologist, aficionado, friend, colleague, however we want to refer to him as, but he's one of the best in the country and for good reason. He's the nerdiest of all fish nerds. And every time I talk to him, I come away with something I learn every single freaking time. And we're talking with Steve for a long time about an idea of him wanting to do a podcast with his brand and things like that, and just didn't have the means and the time and things like that. And so finally things just came together where we just on the call one day and we're like, let's team up. Let's make this thing happen. So now bi-weekly, you guys are going to get the real biology with fisheries biologist Stephen Barton. So bi-weekly shows that it's going to be, we're going to talk about the things that are behind the scenes with Steve that he's working on, that anglers need to know about, the topics currently in the freshwater space, especially in the United States, that anglers need to know about. And then what's cool about that is we'll get some different state biologists that are like, if you're out in Indiana, here's some of the things you got to know about. If you're from Michigan, here's things you got to know about, Alabama, and so on and so forth. We're going to make a whole series out of this. But then last but not least, we'll have aspects of the show to end it, 2 to 5 questions, however long it may be, called the Lake Hotline. So you guys, specifically the people that are listening and watching, can literally submit your questions, whether it's via email to us, DMs to Steve or us. You're going to get your questions answered on the show for your specific lake, pond, whatever. Any questions you might have on, like, why does a bass do this? Steve's going to be able to answer it real time on a Serious Angler podcast. So really looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. Really excited more. I mean, selfishly, I'm really excited for that one just as a nerd myself. But, well, I'll say proclaimed nerd. I am a dumb nerd. I am aspiring nerd. Aspiring nerd. And so with that, guys, that's a lot to take in. And for Serious Angler, you're like, man, that's going to be a lot of shows. Well, really, here's what's going to happen. You're still getting 2 shows a week. And so what's going to happen every week on Wednesday, you're going to have the OG Serious Angler show. But now on Mondays, it's going to be flip-flop bi-weekly. So on 1 week, you're going to get the Seriously Western segment with Adam and I and whomever the guest, if we have a guest for that show. And then the next following week, you'll have Steve and I on that Monday, and then flip back and forth. So every other week, you're going to get Seriously Western, and then you're going to get the real biology with Stephen Barton. So it's going to be cool. It's still going to be Serious Angler themed. It's just going to be different things that we break down. We hope that the support of the fisheries biologist community and the things that you guys want to know more and deserve to more to know of, and then also showing love to our West Coast that deserves it and hasn't been getting it to its rightfulness. So hopefully 2025, we achieve those goals. That's our aspirations for 25 anyway. And it's big time, man. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a lot more content your guys' way, and hopefully a lot more driven content to the things that need to be talked about that aren't getting enough love. So.
And talk about the segment names, man. I'm most excited about that. We've got the real biology, like REEL.
Yep.
And then we've got Seriously Western, which just right off the tongue.
You guys let us know. Should we dress up as cowboys for this one?
Should we wear cowboy hats the entire Seriously Western
Cowboys
episodes?
And belt buckles. I do have a really cool belt buckle right here. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. But
is it a bass one? What do we got?
No, it's Ugly Stick.
It's Ugly Stick.
Oh,
baby.
even better.
Ugly Stick belt buckle.
Unbelievable. I would.
Do you wear jeans when you fish tournament?
I don't. Every once in a while,
you should definitely rock this.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's fantastic.
Hey, calling out Matt Robinson. I told him I'd send it to him, but he never answered me. I feel like he deserves to be in his hands.
He needs like a big one though, like one that really shows
Huge.
off. Yeah,
You're like a 12 by 18.
Overcompensating.
Just
yeah.
like can't even bend over because you're getting hit in the chest with a belt buckle.
Presses it on your belly button every single time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stabbing me.
Yeah. With that too, we acknowledge. So like Serious Angler, obviously longest in regards to life of the show in regard 5+ years. But along the way, we've added some more shows to the Serious Angler network. And hopefully by this time you'll see that there's been a new look to the network in regards to logo and all that stuff. But there's more shows on network than just Serious Angler. So right now we'll have 3. That is, we also have Kayak Fishing Weekly, which, quick note for you guys, is going to remain the same. Justin's been doing a hell of a job, and we're only going to get out more content for you guys next year. And that is actually, so MP3, nothing's changing. But for folks that are tuning in on YouTube, down below, if you want the kayak content on YouTube, it's going to be on its own YouTube channel. We're separating that way we can put all the focus here on the kayak anglers and the community over that way. And the news, especially if you just want kayak news, we want to make sure that you're getting all of that in one funnel of content. So that's going to have its own YouTube. And then Lure Lab, man, It's been one that came on strong. It's been your baby for the past 2 years now.
Yeah.
2 years?
2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to think because we're 110 episodes in. So
yeah, it's 2 years.
And I think I've missed like maybe 5 episodes total in that lifetime, weeks total. So yeah, just over 2 years.
Yeah, Omnia stepping up big time again for that. So the Lure Lab folk have more to look forward to. But some big stuff happening on the Lure Lab side. More basically, they're getting the same thing they love, just more of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
more of it, and yeah,
I guess in reflection in the past 2 years, what's been your favorite part about Lure Lab?
Oh, it's learning about intrinsic parts of like lure modification, how to fish them, where to fish them, right? And now that we have Premium Pro with Omnia, we can add in the map layouts as well into the podcast and talk about specifically where our guests would fish these baits. So it's just an ever fluid situation of learning more knowledge about baits and tackle and learning about things that I didn't even know about. And there's so much of that. So as somebody who's on the water 200 days a year, it's fun to learn more.
Get a lot of time to experiment and stuff.
Too much time. And
yeah,
you can really break down what works for you and what doesn't. And I mean, the Lure Lab, that's the point of it, right? Is teaching everyone what we can find and having this open encyclopedia of tackle mods and baits and lures and reels, just to simplify the process of anglers who are advanced in fishing and those who are new and beginning, just to give them a starting place or a spot for them to grow their knowledge on things that they didn't know about.
Yeah, really help their learning curve on a specific technique or a specific bait. Things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it comes back to our entire thesis, right, with Serious Angler, and that's learning, education.
Forever a student.
Forever a student, baby. Got
entertainingly
the
educational. Yeah. There we go.
Let's go. And that's exactly.
I am wearing that. Actually, I didn't realize I was wearing it.
The hoodie says it all. No,
it just entertainingly educational. That's what we try.
It's exactly right. It's just one of those shows that really fits in well, right? Exactly with what we're doing, and is super concise on techniques and staying on top of trends, but also being like, hey, why are we forgetting about the freaking tube, right? Like things like
tube or a spinner bait, right? Like there's so many different things that you can do with the spinner bait, and it's so overlooked today because of the chatterbaits basically replaced it.
100%.
So, or there's all kinds of topwater baits that have been replaced by a Chapo or a Larry Dahlberg, whatever, Whopper Plopper, right? Like, there's situations where that excels, and there's still situations that poppers and walking baits excel, and you just don't hear about them nearly as much.
You're a popper fiend.
Dude,
I love the good old
I love
popper.
A popper too. Sneaky.
I'm very big on the popper.
Yeah, it's like they're not efficient enough, and it's like, yeah, well, they catch fish.
They catch big ones
too.
Big
ones. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Well, so obviously a lot of news coming at you guys in this episode for 2025. A lot to digest, but one that we are very excited about for 2025, and there is more coming to that. But we'll just kind of leak it less in your face like this episode is as we go forward and see the new things for next year. And I think there's definitely going to be an adjustment period as we go forward in 2025 with obviously having 3 hosts now on here. But I think especially with this is our inaugural, I guess, Serious Angler meeting here where we have all 3 of us in one spot and looking forward to continuing that. But I think we have hit a level where I think we're going to come out strong, come out slinging in 2025. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I think we're grabbing another gear, right? Like to me, that's what this is. And yeah, man, I mean, I'm fired up for it. Fired up for everything we've got going. I guess on the personal side with both of you, what are you looking forward to most in 2025?
In the wise words of Braveheart, freedom.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
No, I think it's just that, man. I'm just excited to the different shows put heart and soul into this thing and try to expand it and bring more to the people that listen to this, that take hours out of their day to listen to us talk. I think I'm excited to try to improve that on that product. And then also, like, selfishly, man, I'm excited to just be like, I'm gonna go on a week-long camping trip. I'll be back. So like, I can't wait to go do that stuff and capture all the content behind it and dedicate more time, and selfishly as well, like more time with my wife and my family and stuff like that. Totally. It's excited to tack on more, but also be able to make time for the things I had less of in years past. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, man. Just the time factor, because that's the thing that's been ringing in my ears. And I was so fortunate to have the gig that I had.
Yeah.
And this is no knock to that, but it was more thing that it was a demanding job.
Yeah.
To do it and do it well, but to do this and also do all of this with it, it really took a lot of time out of, the everyday things that I needed to be prioritizing. And so with that, like going forward, the thing I'm so excited about is just the message of tomorrow's never guaranteed. And that's the one thing, especially with modern day, how crazy things are.
Right.
We never know what tomorrow looks like. So I want to spend the time with the people that matter most, doing the things that matter most to me. And so that's basically going to be my outlook going forward. So,
Heck yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Andy?
Oh, let's see here. Hopefully guiding a ton again, right? Like the last few summers, the calendar has booked quicker and faster every year. So we have most of the heart of spring filled already. Some of the summer's filling up. I'm looking forward to being able to go out and create content for my personal pages, along with the YouTube Serious Angler Network. Maybe Bailey and I can actually go fishing once a year this summer, living 20 minutes apart.
Maybe I can accept the random Tuesday, hey, you want to skip work and go fishing invitations.
Hey, my clients had to reschedule. We can go hop on like a little lake. You want to go? He's like, I have meetings all day.
True statement.
Or he won't get salty when I just send him fish picture after fish picture after fish picture.
Unreal.
So
he could be the one being salty now.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna be. I've got it to where I have like some freedom and flexibility in my schedule. Still work a lot.
I say you're kicking ass in your own right, dude.
Thanks, man. We're putting the gas down.
That's good.
For folks that don't know, we have the biggest steelhead content creator now in the nation here. So
Yeah.
We're in front of loyalty. Royalty, not loyalty.
Hopefully we can blow up that steelhead page a little bit more as another avenue of
pump that. Tell the people if they're in steelhead.
So it's just YouTube, the Steelhead Addict. It's kind of hard to find right now because it's still growing. We're at like 250 subs, but the videos have been doing great. And it's spay fishing, 2-hand fly rod, and fly fishing for steelhead here in the Great Lakes. And hopefully eventually we can do some trips to go fish for them in their native waters out west. So that's always been a dream. So hopefully do that and just trying to show like the growth on the side of things that I don't really guide with, which is the 2-hand spay rod. It's like a passion project. So it's been fun doing it so far. So
yeah, dude.
Fishing video goes out every Monday, and I don't know if I'm going to do it every week, but every other week right now I've been putting out fly tying videos. So
yeah. I'll say the one thing that's cool watching this, and as much as I tease you because I never go steelhead fishing with you at all, is you do have your own like bass channel, guide service channel. You have a invigorated passion for this new one though that I've seen.
Well,
I agree with
and
that.
it's cool. It's cool to watch it from afar.
And I've talked about it in the past. Like I learned how to bass fish from steelhead fishing. Right, steelhead fishing was my first passion growing up. Like when I graduated high school, the first thing I did was that fall I was driving almost every day to go steelhead fish the local trib. So I learned how to read current that way. I learned how fish position that way. So. And the first steelhead I ever caught was on a fly rod. And I got away from it because I got tired of getting my butt kicked by all the flow fishing guys. So I bought a flow fishing setup. And I've gotten to a point where fishing full time, I'm like, it's not even so much about catching fish anymore. It's expanding knowledge and seeing how fish react to certain things and just going for insanely long walks and being more immersed in like the overall outdoor experience rather than just catching fish.
Yeah.
So, dude. Yeah. This has got me fired up just because, I've known your passion for steelhead stuff. I have never done it, but I'm now in the great state of Idaho, and it's got some phenomenal.
Snake River, man, is one of the best in the world.
And Idaho, Oregon, Washington, I'm all close to all of that. Yeah. We need to figure something out with you coming out and showing me what to do with a spay rod.
Here's a trip that I think everyone should put on their bucket list for steelhead fishing is the summer run on the Deschutes River in Oregon.
Yeah.
There's quite a few guides out there that are absolutely phenomenal, and it's the most insane.
Is it good in the fall?
It's like late summer, early fall, and then the king salmon
in.
Oh, I know what you're thinking.
We're gonna go watch the Ducks play.
Oh,
my mighty Oregon Ducks.
I mean, I love the Ducks.
Ducks are sick.
We'll go watch college football, and I'll be your camera guy. We'll fly out there and do some fishing.
That'd be fun. We'll bring Deacon along.
You guys do the fishing. I'll bring the camera. because
I'd love
bass
to
are
go to
cooler.
Texas. I can drive. I'm not very far.
There you go. Perfect. And then maybe that can coincide. We'll go do an elk hunt right afterwards.
Exactly. Or
I'll go
chase
sit and
some
watch some elk in the
mega
woods. I don't
mega
care.
smallmouth.
Yeah.
We'll have Andy drop us off
Yeah.
via boat.
We'll just see Andy. Andy just, hey guys, there's an elk.
Over there.
on the ridge.
Over there. That's exactly
I
right.
got an 8-pounder on the sorry.
We're like, man, we got an elk down. This is incredible. And he's like, yeah, well, I've got 2 8-pounders in the box. How's that
Stuck
sound?
it.
Yeah.
So like here's a trip, right? Like you can go to like Montana or Wyoming and go fish the smallmouth lakes there that people
Oh,
don't
you're about to
know
get
about.
shot for saying that.
I mean, there's smallmouth everywhere, right? And you can fly fish. There's thousands of world-renowned streams out there as well. So
The lake that I'm thinking of specifically in Idaho, Andy, you have steelhead in the river next to it, world class, and then you have world class smallmouth, and then you also have elk and deer hunting all in the same
Do we have
place.
any world class breweries that are near it too?
and people,
Probably not,
No.
but we could probably figure out
Darn.
a bar of some
Darn.
sort. Like
people can't be mad at me for saying that there's lakes there because somebody just went out and posted like record chasing smallmouth.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
I'm.
So
It was satirical, but yes.
Yeah, I get
You always got those comment warriors.
Oh yeah,
that get in there.
people get upset. Which
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
Social media.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm so excited for 25, boys. It's gonna be
Dude.
good.
25 and beyond.
Fired up.
Yeah.
I'm excited for more fun fishing. Super fired up for that. I
Crappie.
have a new little passion being in a place
Future
with.
crappie tournament champion.
Oh, get ready, yeah, dude. If I win that crop, dude, you'll know.
You'll never touch a
you'll-
bass again.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just leave bass fishing for crappie. The crappie.
We'll
trial.
have Deacon on Serious Angler for the next 6 months, and then he's gone.
And
Then I'll just. I will.
I'm on a
literally-
new direction.
Serious
baby.
crappie fishing. coming to you.
serious crappie fishing 2025. No, I think first of all, super fired up for the BAM Pro Tour and fishing out west and really hitting that hard in 2025. That's number one priority and goal when it comes to fishing space. Number two, though, more fun fishing for panfish. I'm in a place that has giant perch, world-class perch, and also some really big crappie that are so much fun. And I've been just having such a blast doing it. So more of that, more of putting them in the freezer and enjoying some of that. So excited for that.
Heck
Can
yeah,
we
dude.
can we expect some like Adam Deacon cooking content?
Oh, now we're talking. Hold up. That's sneaky. That's something I do a lot of
You
cooking.
Call it like Sizzle a Deacon or something.
Sizzling with Deacon. He's in the sauna. Yeah. I don't know if you guys
my
saw,
gosh.
if you guys have seen, but Deacon's been posting some thirst traps lately.
Thirst traps. Holy
Well,
cow.
thirsty on the social.
Oh, man, I didn't even have like a shirt off and anything.
Ladies,
Uh-huh.
Deacon is
How about that
thirsty.
reel you put
Single.
up?
Single right
He
Certain
posted some
sandbar.
nice steak and some steak and food stuff. He's been posting the shirtless pics,
Oh,
the stash. Look at the stash. Okay, this is
All
only
right.
one status here. That
There we
is
go.
thirsty.
Status is status.
Thirsty.
Oh boy.
That's for all efficient ladies out here.
Fishing
Holler
ladies.
at your boy.
Holler at your boy. Single, ready to mingle. All right.
Yeah.
You're supposed to wink.
I'm a head nod guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't know. That's awesome. We're trying to get you
Chastise
hits,
coming
bro.
down here. This is true. Hey, listen, I'll take all the help I can get. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's for dang sure.
At least you're not breaking cameras.
That's right. We haven't tried the makeup yet, like we have on.
That's awesome. Well, dudes, anything else the folks need to know for 2025?
I guess we can just say stay tuned because I'm sure there's going to be stuff coming out that we don't even truly have like planned for.
Yeah, it's
'cause
not locked
it's
in yet.
fluid, right?
Mhm.
Like we have a fluid situation going forward as we always have. So it's exciting to see where it's going to
We'll be at the
continue to
Classic.
grow and go
Big
to.
classic for anybody
Classic.
coming to the classic.
Yeah.
Look for some Texas content. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, really, with that too, as we go forward, there's gonna be a lot more content coming your guys' way. Things you want to see, things maybe we're missing.
Feedback.
Let us know.
Definitely, whether it's comment section, the email is always in every freaking show notes, as well as socials. DM us, email us, let us know. We're all open, all ears open for feedback on anything you have. If you guys have critical stuff, like we said before, like please,
Rip it.
we can handle that.
Love to hear it.
We actually encourage that. So yeah, let us know. 2025 is going to be a big year for all of us, and not only collectively but individually as well. And it's going to be pretty cool to see where we look at as we have planning for 2026. A year from now, whether we're sitting here or wherever, Hopefully, maybe on a beach in Maui or something like that. No, I was kidding.
That'd be fun to go to Maui and go GT fishing.
Oh,
We would get
dude,
distracted.
The only
There would be no
saltwater-
planning. There would be no meeting. It would just be fishing.
It would just be
That's
chasing GTs.
Fine.
He's like, I see
And
no
he's like,
issues.
That's what you guys wanted to plan.
Why
Is this
crazy?
what is business?
What is business?
Yeah.
There's GTs.
Yeah.
Just come on.
GTs and drinks to be had.
Yeah.
Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
There has
Very
been no better happy hour bar that I have been to than on a beach in Maui. So
That's fantastic.
Fair enough.
$2 rum runners, baby. Like it was.
I would.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
I mean-
fantastic.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, dudes, I think we should we'll leave it there with the folks. But I think otherwise, exciting end to 2024. Sayonara to 24 and hello 25, and looking forward to what she holds for us, boys.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Hitting the gas, baby. Excited for 25.
It should be like all gas, no brakes.
All
See you later.
gas, no brakes.
Peace.
Out.
All gas, no brakes.
All right, folks. As always, you guys are amazing. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you next year.